So, appreciation to the donut devas who replicated my mother's offerings when she was still alive of donuts on birthday here at Abhayagiri. It brings up some thoughts of what it, aging process and gratitude towards parents and various different things associated with having a birthday. Ajahn used to always, when we were talking about the little signs of getting older and the little things that happen, he would, or if I would make some remark about forgetting something, he would look at me and he'd say, "An aging man is but a paltry thing." Some sort of wry British humor that just to, remind us of the fact that the little bits and pieces of the human body start to deteriorate and fall away over time. We had this day-long on aging and illness last week that highlighted a lot of these things. But also along with the levels of advancing decrepitude are the memories like that of my mother and her offerings. So dedicating the merit that comes from today to her for having gone through the birth process and raised me through my infancy and youth, offered this opportunity for practice as a monk. And just remembering her aging process too, very slow decline over many years until she died in her early 90s, not that long ago. And just recalling the question of who was she? Who are we really in relation to this aging process? Because when we had her memorial service, there was a slideshow that myself and a few other family members pulled together, brother and sister, and kind of chronicled from her very early childhood all the way through her adulthood and then into middle age and aging. And then the last few photos of the show were after she had passed away, lying on her quote-unquote deathbed. And just recollecting who was this being? Who was this woman whose name was Glendemaria? I was named after her. And, was she that young woman in the photograph sitting on the back of a horse, or the, middle-aged woman with our family dog in the back of the car? Or was she the older woman at her 80th birthday and surrounded by grandkids? Or was she that corpse lying in the bed? Who was Glendemaria? And I can take that reflection to myself and say, well, who is this formerly Glendemaria, now known as Karunadhammo Bhikkhu, the little kid running around with brother and sister, or all the various incarnations in one lifetime that we all have up to this present moment, sitting here in a Dhamma hall, offering a reflection. Who is Karunadhammo Bhikkhu? Who is anybody? We carry these identities, and over time, aging, many birthdays pass, and can we point to who it is that we really are, at least in relation to body and mind, the five khandhas? And we examine that, we look over time and see how it's just a constant change, a constant morphing of elements triggered by consciousness. So not really any place where one can find a sustained, lasting refuge in terms of me, mine, identity, something that's constant and unchanging. But what we do find refuge in is that knowing quality that can be with all of this with clear, total, pure awareness, and watch it all as it arises, as it persists for a while, as it changes, and then as it passes away. All of this can be known from that clear, stable presence of awareness. So to quote our famous teacher, it's like this. So I'll leave that for this morning's reflection.